Multiple textures. Okay, so like smooth, we can use smooth, we can use these. And then
the hard things with the hard ones.
mechanical.
Is it like
Food angry.
I feel like those games are this would go here. I mean, if this is the reproduction. Well, yes.
These are all pieces that are going to eventually.
Space.
Space, yeah. Space, air. Sometimes a kid will add love. Yes, it needs love. So in this case, what this appears to a young child is that it's missing what? If you had to guess. You were a kid.
Yeah.
Water, right? This looks like a dried up plant. And it's true, it is a dried up plant, but that's not what killed it. Yeah, this is frost damage. But yeah, this was all frozen this in the bad freezes we had earlier this winter. So when plants die, sometimes they get dried up. But in this case, it was not because it didn't get water. It was because it got too cold, and some plants can't get too cold. Even though it's, somebody might notice this, even though it's furry, it got cold. Yeah, even though it's furry, it got cold. Can I have this? Well, no, but how about I'll take a piece. And I'll take. Bye, Emily, bye, Emily. Okay, we can't take all the leaves. Oh, you found something else. Ooh, which tree do you think that came from? Yeah, that one over there. Okay, very cool. Finding some very cool things to put in our bag. All right. I mean, everybody wants one, but
How often do they pick up sticks and start fighting each other?
occasionally. Simplest collecting and recording device you could want. And it's amazing what this does for kids and how much teachers like it. The manila folder as a collecting device can be something that you set up in advance with all sorts of elaborate preparation, or it can be the kind of thing that you grab it last minute before you go out. This is sort of an intermediate version. I actually put the title on here so I can keep track of what I was doing. Some people decorate with stickers or pictures, whatever. It doesn't have to be complicated, it can be very simple. You have your manila folder, marker, and tape, and you're set to do all kinds of things. So, I might gather the kids at this point, a flower, a flower! And I might have instead decided to do this. One of the things you learn very quickly is that you don't want to show kids things that you're not ready to share with them, right? Because then that just becomes a distraction. So my folder here, we're going to use it to start saving some of these special treasures that we found. Okay? But in order to save our special treasures, we have to first remember something about them. So, does anybody remember something about this special treasure?
It's kind of like a tree.
It's around. Yeah, it came off of a tree, and it's, what is it? Flower. Flower. So, you can always, with enough tape, get anything into the folder. We go through an enormous amount of tape here. Okay, and with this age, I usually write the word. Older kids, I let them write it. Flower. Great. Okay. Does anybody remember anything about this?
It's from the path.
It's from the path. Yeah. Okay. I'll put it down there because it was on the ground. How about that? Or they might tell me that. Yeah, put it on the ground. And what's it made out of? Wood. Okay. So we'll put it there. I'll put the word path. Ah.
Right upside down.
No. Only S's and N's give me trouble. Path. And it's wood. Okay. Okay, good. All right. anybody remember something about this?
Bark.
Yeah, bark. Exactly. So we just keep going through with them telling me things about what they found, and we agree to some kind of label, bark. And we might talk about, yeah, this bark helps protect the tree from things that want to get to it. This is the leaf that went with this bark, right? Okay, so we'll put the leaf in. Leaf. Now, I haven't gone to a great deal of effort here to make it something very fancy, but as soon as you stick these things, oh, what in the world is this? Put those openings in that wall just a few years ago, and I was so annoyed because then the kids could get out. It used to mean you could bring them in here and they couldn't get out. But so I would always teach the children how to smell a plant. Now here's a strange thing. What part of your body do you use to smell? Your nose. Yeah, but we're going to use our hands to smell too. And that's always quite bad. So we'll use our hands to rub the plant and our nose to smell our hands. Because that's how we're releasing the oils that are in the leaves. And the funny thing about a fragrance garden is if you ask kids what part of the plant has a smell, the flower. Absolutely. In our fragrance garden, you're not smelling the flowers. You're pretty much exclusively focused on the leaves. Flowers have scents to attract something. Leaves, in general, have scents to repel something. So even though they smell good to us, they're not the kind of thing that you want a big mouthful of. So the scents in this garden have evolved in these plants to reduce damage by herbivores like us. But we like to use a little bit for seasoning and so forth. And so I might take the kids in here, point out that using your hands to smell with your nose, and then we'd walk through. And we're going to use nature crayons, okay? Because where did we see all kinds of colors when we looked at colors earlier? We saw them in... But I would show them how I could take a flower and squish, 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 squish. I got a color. So then I'd let them come up, and everybody could pick a flower petal and give it a try. And if you find a bench, it makes a good surface to do it. If you don't have a bench, sometimes I bring along a clipboard just so that I can have it and hold it for them. And then they can squish things. And so we might look at the colors. Ooh. Okay. Marianne, you want to try?
Oh, sure.
Squish! Squish, 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 squish. Pick this out and see what happens. Squish hard. Not much different than the other one. Okay, good man. Who wants to try? Anybody know what this is? Here, give this one a try. Dandelion. Ooh, dandelions are like primo. Awesome. If you can find it. Yeah. What's really interesting is you go through. Anybody else wants to give it a try? Come on up, pick a flower. Is that